Watch for these neat little sharp-shinned hawks here in northeast Iowa, now in the fall and winter season. We don't see them in the summer because they're nesting up in Canada. But when the cold weather comes, they shift south, and some of them stay right here in the driftless region. Their favorite foods are songbirds. Probably a 90% of their diet would be birds robin size or smaller. They'll also eat any mice that they find. And these are a forest bird, by the way, so that's where you'll find them. Notice they've got a very long tail that they use like a rudder to help them kind of navigate through all the trees when they're chasing prey, though sometimes they'll even dive right into a thicket to get their food. In fact, that's what this one did shortly after I photographed it here. It dove into a high bush cranberry thicket and grabbed a house sparrow there and then flew off. They can be confused with a Cooper's hawk, by the way, but the Cooper's hawk is somewhat bigger, about the size of a crow. This sharp-shinned hawk was really no bigger than a blue jay. And notice it's really kind of narrow legs. The Cooper's hawk would usually have a little fatter legs down there too. So watch for these little sharpies now this winter. I was quite surprised to see this little eastern chipmunk out and about the other day. This is early December now, and normally in early November, the chipmunks go down into their burrows, and they don't like to come out again until it warms up about the middle to the end of March. And during that time, when they're underground, the research is a little bit mixed. They don't necessarily truly hibernate, though some biologists and scientists would say that, but they go into a period of, you might say, suspended sleep or torpor for maybe a week or two. Then they'll wake up, get back to normal, stay in their dens though, eat some of their stored food, and then go back to sleep. But it is quite rare for them to actually come out of their dens once they go down into their, you might say, winter mode. So I guess that's a kind of a, this is the second year in a row that I've seen eastern chipmunks out in December. Here at Lake Meyer Park. That was something I didn't used to see years ago, so I guess that's a sign that global climate change is kicking in. And this is just one of the changes that we see as a result of that. So be watching. If it stays warm here, you may see another eastern chipmunk out and about before the snow flies. I photographed this colorful little checkered beetle last summer. So don't expect to find these guys crawling around now in the month of December. But if you're out and about next summer, be on the lookout. You just might find your own little checkered beetle. By the way, these checkered beetles feed on flower nectar, so they're totally harmless. Their colors mimic those of a velvet ant. Velvet ants, and you can even see the shape of this beetle kind of looks a little bit like an ant there. Those velvet ants, by the way, are in the wasp family, and some of them can really deliver a painful sting. In fact, one of them is called a cow killer because the pain is so intense. But that's this beetle's defense, to look like something that would hurt you if you picked it up. As you can see, again, this little guy won't hurt you at all. Just make sure if you find one that you're picking up a checkered beetle and not a velvet ant.